Hey, welcome to the CNC show. Welcome back to season two. Yes, season two. We have done this before. This is technically episode number 12. Season one was known as the CNC Side Hustle Show, but we're kind of zooming out a little bit and we're encompassing everything CNC related. So you may notice a couple different things around here. One, we have a dedicated spot now to do this, to whereas before, if you would have saw this setup, it was like just in the middle of the room. And so now look at us. Look at us. We're moving up. We're moving up. So, but if you're new here, welcome. We started this show to have some fun, to hang out, talk shop, maybe learn something new. But also, my main goal is that you are inspired to get out into the shop and create something you're proud of. That's the whole point. That's how we designed this show, and we have got a season packed for you. Um, so today's episode, first episode, I'm bringing a longtime friend on the show with me. We were just talking backstage before this. I think we met 7 years ago. We are both still in the CNC woodworking space. We have taken kind of two different paths, but today's guest is a full-time woodworker, a dad, a husband. He is a CNC machine operator. He actually has a very nice CNC machine. He's a product designer. He's an architect, and he is the owner of Design Craft Workshop in Houston, Texas. So everyone welcome my longtime friend, Bao, to the show. Welcome.
Hey guys. Thanks for having me, Andy.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for coming in. Do you remember we did like two live streams. I think this was like 5 years ago.
It was, yeah, when my first born, he was 1 years old. He's 6 now, so yeah, 5 years ago. Yep.
5 years ago, and look at us. We're we're back at it.
I know.
Great.
Well, you've been doing it, sticking to it. I've been sort of going on my own different journey.
Yes, we're talking about all that today. Your uh, woodworking journey, and like I was talking about backstage, you have a lot to share. Um, Even if it feels like a grind to you, because I kind of get that. You have a lot to share that I think a lot of people are going to love to hear from you today, and you have a unique set of skills, unique background, and I love your approach. So, yeah, thanks for joining me.
Of course.
So, this is the time of the show we usually like to jump in the chat real quick and see who's here, who we've got in here. And it's really awesome to see familiar names coming in here, and we've got some IDC Woodcraft in here and Julianne's in here, and yeah, welcome Chris from Australia all the way down. That's the cool thing about these live streams. Like you just never know where, like, the internet's a crazy place, really crazy place. So, welcome in everyone. Who do we got here? Jason, welcome in. I noticed Philip, he was here. Gilroy, awesome. Well, I didn't tell you this, Bao, but we've got a special call-in to the show,
Okay.
who is going to join us just for a couple minutes. So let me set this up so it makes sense. Our old moderator, our season one moderator, was Paul from Bees Boards, and they run a CNC business, and they make game boards, cribbage boards, Mancala boards, all kinds of different things. And they are currently at the Big E. They're set up at the Big E, which is a 17-day carnival festival with millions of people. And we were chatting this morning, and he was telling me on how it was going. And I was like, you know what? Let's add this to the show really quick and get like a live caller from a show in here to tell us how he's doing. He's literally set up at a craft show for 17 days right now. I think he's on day 7. So let's bring
Wow.
Paul on just for a couple minutes. He agreed to it. There he is.
Hey guys.
Paul, everyone from Bees Boards.
How's it going?
It's going well. Thanks for, like, literally, this was last minute. Like, this was not in the script. Eric, our showrunner, looked at me like, "Are you kidding me, right?" I was like, "No, we're gonna do it."
Keep him on his toes.
And we keep him on his toes. So, anyways, Paul, people are familiar if they've been around here at all with with the show, with the channel in our Discord community. So let's get an update. Where currently, what day are you on of the show, and what's happening?
We started last Friday. So what are we today? Thursday? So this is day 7. 2 hours in. Yeah, 2 hours in. So this is day 7, 17.
Okay.
Yeah. It's flat out every day from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m.
Okay. So you have like what, like 80 hours into this thing?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And I wish I had.
I'm not there currently. I'm actually at my Airbnb. B is at the fair with a helper, and I'm going in for the evening shift.
So yeah, you've got it divided up to where your partner, your wife, your business partner in crime, work the day shift, and you work the night shift.
That's it.
Okay. So in 7 days, what's your sales total?
So right now, 2 hours into day 7, we're just shy of 13K for sales total.
So 13K.
Tracking basically what we did last year. You did a couple of videos on us, and we're tracking what we did last year. But we are entering the weekend. The weekends are busier, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, like, and if people don't know, like, you probably don't know. I actually went to this event last year. But what's a busy day at the Big E? How many people?
Their record was set last year, the middle Saturday, of 172,000 people through the door in a day. Yeah, 1.7 million people for the whole.
It's wild. It's wild. That's why I bring this on. I try to paint this picture. It's like it's called an agricultural fair.
Right.
So there's everything here, but a big part of it is local vendors who sell stuff in their state, because it's made up of all 6.
Yep. All 6 New England states. We all have a building, and every building brings in state makers and creators and food trucks and whatever they can build their state building with.
So how many months did it take to prepare? When did you start creating product for this show?
Did I stop?
I don't think you stopped from what you see.
I think probably around what we really started to wind out. That's when we put the application in. That's when we heard we were going to be accepted. So that's when I really started like focusing. Yeah, about March.
All right, one more question. How do you know roughly how many pieces of product, like inventory, did you bring for the 17 days?
Well over 1,000.
So you prepared over 1,000 items.
Yeah.
For this show.
Yeah, absolutely. And that ranges all prices, right? We do a lot of little stuff, a lot of travel games. We do more of those. We do, our bread and butter is cribbage boards. I made 130 hardwood cribbage boards, probably 200 plywood style cribbage boards. What else? Yeah, we go all the way up to $400 for furniture with games in them. So it's a wide range, but yeah, it's been probably a good couple of hundred items sold so far.
That's amazing.
How big of a booth are you operating right now?
A 14 by 8. Okay. And so we get the pleasure of building the booth, because this year being our first full-time year, we're inside the building. We get a blank slate. We build a booth out. So we've had a really cool build done. Lots of LED lights, lots of attraction to bring people in, and we're super thrilled with it.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Well, I don't want to take any more of your time, Paul, because I know you are super busy. You're literally, you work a full-time job.
That's what I'm doing here.
You work during the day, and then you're doing this at night. And you truly, honestly, what you and B do and have done, I've been able to track it over the last 3-4 years, and it's amazing. So you're an inspiration to us all. We wish you the best of luck. If you're not following B's boards on Instagram or Facebook or some, those are your main 2, I believe.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook.
Their post updates there, pictures of their booth, a full build out of their booth. And it's really next level stuff. So I appreciate you taking the time to share with us.
You got it. If you're around, come to the Massachusetts building. Today's Massachusetts Day, so
There you go.
come to the Mass building.
All right, Springfield, Massachusetts. If you're anywhere near there, go find B and Paul in.
Just follow the traffic. You can't miss it.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you. See you guys later.
Hey, thanks, man, for letting me squeak that in there. They,
Yeah, that was interesting. I didn't know that that thing existed.
yeah. So I had an opportunity to go last year, and my wife and I took a little trip out there, and it is a spectacle. Is the only way to really explain it. Like the Big E is, 1.7 million people, like over 17 days. That's over 100,000 people like come through the gate. And so when they're talking these numbers, they seem bonkers, but they're averaging $2,000 days now. In the weekends, like I was there on a Friday, Saturday, I think, and it's so many people. It's wild that just come through, and it's nonstop.
So is it just vendors or is it like a carnival?
Yeah, there's imagine there's a carnival. There's kind of different areas, and it's a pretty cool event. Like I would recommend going to it maybe once.
And it's located in Massachusetts.
Yeah, so it's in Springfield, Massachusetts, but it's kind of like you said, the 6 New England states all come together and put on this one event. So it's like a New England event. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. And I did a video on them last year when I went. So you can check that out on my YouTube channel as well. Just type in, I don't know. I think the thumbnail has Paul in it. So that's the easiest way with B's boards. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I've never done a craft show. Well, I've done one a long time ago, but I wasn't there just to do a craft show. I was just there to sort of represent the local lumberyard and kind of like bring people in. So it wasn't really a craft show for me, but I haven't done like an official craft show myself. I know that you've done it, and have you seen success with it? How was the prep for that?
yeah. We haven't done a lot of them in a while with kids. We can get into more of that here in a second. Kids definitely change our paths. But let's move to our first official segment, because I want to pick your brain specifically on design. Let's head to that now. What'd you think about that?
Surprising.
Yes. That's all Eric. Eric puts these together. He does a fantastic job. And
So far, I'm very surprised at everything.
we don't mess around, man. We don't mess around. So, but anyways, so welcome to the segment of Trendy Trends, everybody. And this is one of the main reasons, man, I think this is your superpower, whether you realize it or not. Your eye for design, your eye for product development. And this is a little bit different play on Trendy Trends, because you definitely do not make trendy items like what's trending. You are a trend setter. That's how I see it. Like you are creating, and I stole some of your images off of Instagram here so people can get an idea, and you can Eric, go ahead and roll through those. Here's some examples of some of the things that you do, that you've done in the past, and very, very modern, very clean lines. So talk to us a little bit, Bao, about your design background. How do you go about coming up with these designs? Go for it.
And you're giving me a little more credit than I deserve.
You're humble. But
I can't say that everything that I design is we're influenced by our experiences, right? When it comes to design, when it comes to a product that we're developing, we see things and we try to further develop what we see and try to figure out a solution that different products that we see or experience or touch or use is not fulfilling. So that's really my approach to the design. That's what we learn in architecture school. When we design buildings, when we design spaces, rare are you thinking of something out of thin air. You're using precedents. You're looking at the history of architecture, of design, and you're taking small little things here and there and sort of developing on that language, right? On that building type. And the same thing with product design. That's my approach with it. Um, that topo tray, where it has a lot of those contours. I just saw something that was pretty unique, and I felt like, okay, what if we um, adjust the scale of the contours instead of making bigger steps down and step overs? What if we make it a little more elegant, a little bit more refined? Um, yeah, so that's just an example of how I approach a product, and also the gouge texture. I can't say that I came up with that, right? That's a very
Right.
Japanese ancient technique. Um, but we wanted to. That was a challenge of how can I use or create that pattern on the CNC. That was just the challenge there because I really liked it and I didn't spend all the time. To make the small little textures that I see people do on Instagram.
Yeah.
With sometimes they use a carving, like a power carving tool, or they may use scalp. Um, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that for a whole week. Let's see if I can create this on the CNC and make it efficient. And I was sure that other people liked that texture as well. So I just made it available for people to buy. Um,
Can people still buy that today?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I still sell the textures. I haven't been able to spend the time creating the texture, even though I want to. But I do have a few textures and patterns that people can buy on the website.
Cool. And we'll have all that information in the comments below, or in the link in the description below. And I think this is a great conversation because I think you and I, um, right, I think you said it at the very beginning, like our experiences kind of form our, how we see things and how we perceive things. And, um, where I'm not a designer. I'm just not. Like, I wish I had that skill, and I think, um, it's something that can be developed, right? Something that can be learned.
Yeah, you start from zero. Like, I never thought I was a designer. I did not have a design eye at all in high school. I I mean, I took AP art only because it was a easy AP class, like you get a 5.0 GPA from that. But I was never good at art. I was never good at drawing.
Mm.
Um, but I think once you figure out your design style, then you sort of like develop a language for yourself,
Mm.
you know, and a language of how you want to take a product from concept to an actual product. And that's something that you develop on your own experiences, your own likes, your own trials, testing products, testing whether or not this design works, whether it looks good. There is definitely some formal, training there, like understanding scale, understanding some ratios. Um,
Yeah.
but again, it's very subjective.
Yeah. Maybe I need to give myself some more credit. Because there are some things that I've designed, um, that I didn't, when you said that like, I didn't, when I think back on it, like, yeah, I did design that from just different inspirations for different reasons. And, um,
Even if it's a small tweak,
yeah.
you're still doing design. You're still design is just trying to figure out a solution that's better than the previous one.
Mm, that's, to me, that's really freeing. Like, I think there's a lot of, I've talked to literally thousands of people over the past 5 years. And I think there's a struggle, to get started in design, right? And we're not talking about designing like crazy things. Like you took a tray, like the Topo tray, right? It is still a drop tray. It's still a um like that's a tray that a lot of people could create, but you did something unique to it to stand out. And so it's easy to talk about design like in this big philosophical way, but what are some things that like that anybody like what are three things, I'm putting you on the spot here, um, that anybody could do to make a better product?
Mm, I would say you have to figure out what is the problem that you're trying to solve, right? Especially when we're designing products for an end user. Uh, for instance, that Topo tray, the problem is people have sputter on the desk, and I wanted to provide a solution for that. That is not simply just a tray. So the first problem was trying to make it usable. In other words, figuring out how people can declutter their desks. The other problem is I didn't want it just to be like a straight wall tray. I wanted it to solve the problem of being aesthetically pleasing, right? And so when you think of design these products that you design as um, equations or in a way just simply just trying to solve that equation for somebody else, then you just apply your experience, you apply your lights, your style to it, and then that becomes the product itself.
Hmm, that's really good, man.
So I don't know if there's like a list of things I would say. I think overall, like you're just solving a problem and you're trying to make it as pleasing to your eyes, and hopefully somebody else loves it.
Mm.
Or if you have a client who has a certain style, then you're trying to fit the design to their style, but not just copy and paste what they want, right? I try not to do that,
Mm.
especially with furniture. Um, I'll tell the client, hey, I could build that for you, but it's probably going to be cheaper for you just to buy that. If you want me to build it, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to recommend a little bit of a change to it because that piece in your space may not fit well. And, of course, I go to the client's house and I take a look at their style, what's going on at their house. And I try to see if the piece that they're trying to buy or trying to have me make is going to fit their interior design. So that's one of the issues that I'm trying to solve when I'm building a piece of furniture for somebody. So it just gets down to just figuring out what the solution is for the problem.
So I never thought about it that way. That's really good. So it's like think about a math problem. No one likes math, but think about a math problem and think about yeah, your experiences. This sounds like really big and like profound, but your experiences are the solution to someone else's problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. I think you use a lot of walnut, white oak, um, and which that I always tell people like find inspiration and do something different with it, and that difference could be simply a different material. It could be a different size. It could be a different function. It could be, uh, yeah, yeah. So that's great.
But
Um,
materials is definitely one way for you to figure out design, right? Like there's a story about an architect, his name's Louis Kahn, and um, I don't know, it's a true story, but it's something that we learned in college. He picked up a brick and he asked the brick, "What do you want to be?" And so the brick said that he wanted to be arch. So he designed his building with brick, and the brick were these really beautiful arch forms. It's the taking inspiration from what does a material look like? How does the material will react if I bend it? or if I maybe burn it, right? There's different ways for you to approach just by even if it's walnut, there's different ways to treat the walnuts and make them look different.
Yeah, that's great, man. All right. Well, let's move on. I'm just gonna forewarn you. There's a bumper video coming up.
All right.
So here we go. I don't want you to be surprised. Let's head to our next segment. All right, welcome to Over and Under. We're going to play a pricing game here. A fun little pricing game that Eric, our showrunner here, has put together. And
Hello.
he's like the voice behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz. So he's going to explain the rules here, and we're going to compete here. All right, man? We're going to see who can get more correct.
Let me pull up ChatGPT really quick.
Okay, so what we got for you guys today, I've got 4 different items that I have pulled off of our lovely internet, and I'm going to give you a price with them, and you're going to have to tell me if that price is too high, so if it's over, or if that price is under. And for those of you in the chat, feel free to play along with us. So our first item up for, not bid, I guess, but our first item up is a pasta rolling board. This pasta rolling board is 12 inches by 4 inches wide. It is made of black walnut, and we're going to start the price at $80.
All right, man. I'll let you go first. What do you think, or just think about it?
All right, can I raise a question?
Oh, boy. Maybe.
Is this something that was made in a factory in China and it was, that makes a big difference.
Every item that I pull comes from a shop that makes it here in the U.S.
Okay.
These are made by a person, not that
Okay, gotcha.
the other stuff isn't.
$80.
So do you think the real price of this is over or under $80?
I'm gonna say, what size was it?
12 by 4.
I'm gonna say it's under $80.
So I agree with. So I think it is under 80, but I think it should be over 80. So I'm gonna go over.
Okay, are you guys ready for the actual price?
The
All right.
actual retail price.
Retail price of the pasta board is
50.
All right.
58, so it was
Okay.
less.
All right.
Okay, our next item is this couple's tree wall art piece. It is made of birch plywood, obviously has been painted or covered over the top. The one we're pricing is 14 inches by 25 inches.
Okay.
All right. So it's personalized. It looks like a significant date, a date of getting married, or a date of engagement, or a date of something along those lines. All right, I'll go first on this one. So do we think it's over or under 120? Ooh, apply. I'm gonna go over.
Okay. I think it's over. If you're charging 120 for this, you got to raise up your prices. Yeah, so I think it's definitely over.
All right, Eric.
Okay, retail on the couple's tree art is
Ooh, 160.
$160.20.
What do you think about that design, Bao?
I think it's cool. If it fits, their decor, what they're looking for, I think it's something that you could easily do on the CNC for sure.
Yeah. I like the texture, the tree texture. They've done a good job of kind of mixing some techniques together there.
And I do like the detail of the leaf.
Yeah.
Because you still get the idea of the tree rather than just being the bark of the tree, right?
Yeah.
It might just have like lines at that point.
Very cool. All right, what's the next one, Eric?
Okay, our next one up is a little different. It is this baseball bat with a custom name, or you You can put different stuff in there. Anyways, they said online that it's hand cut, but man, I was looking at this going, you could do this with a CNC pretty easy. So this is a northern white ash baseball bat. It is a 35-inch. It's not the little tiny ones that you get when you go to the ballpark for $50. It does come with a display rack as well too. So custom baseball bat. We're gonna start at $150.
I'm sitting here thinking about how they're doing this. I think that this picture may be AI generated. Maybe not.
Wow, everybody thinks it's thunder.
Everybody thinks it's under. But anyway,
I think it's over.
I think it should be over. I mean, it's a full-size baseball bat. Ash. With your name on it or your logo, right? These are just sample pictures, but
You're saying that it's hand engraved.
I don't know. I mean, are they serious? Do you think they're really hand engraving these?
They're doing a really great job if they do. They said there's a maximum of 12 characters that they can do. And then I counted that Steve Johnson, and I was like, I think that's 12 exactly. So
Okay.
I'm going to say it's over.
You say it's over. I'm gonna say it's under. I think it's like 119.
okay. It seems like our chat is pretty back and forth about it. The answer that they have online is
Ooh, you were right, man. You were right.
I was thinking it's more closer to like 300.
Okay. All right.
And we have the display, you have the all that other stuff coming into it as well.
That's true. I was gonna say, what was the main driver that led you to a higher price?
Well, most of the time when you're doing custom made stuff, you're gonna have to determine a minimum price that you're willing to do project for, right? So I think for this, doing the custom made engraving, that looks like seriously a lot of work. And so I wouldn't spend more. I wouldn't spend less than like 250 if I were going to pay somebody to do something or expect to pay somebody to do this.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, they also said that they can obviously do laser engraving, so the price even went up further if you see those laser engraves on the barrel of the bat there. But
Yeah.
so here's our next and final item. This is a fluted shoe cabinet. So inside of those doors, you've got 5 or 6 racks for additional shoe storage. This is made out of just MDF. It is 32 inches by 12 inches deep by 42 inches tall. It says that it can hold between 18 and 24 shoes, if that helps change your mind.
What are you thinking here?
I'm really hoping it's over.
So it's MDF. In this picture, there's something on top of that. Some kind of a finish on top of the MDF.
Yeah.
Like maybe MDF core.
It's probably maybe like a laminate or just maybe MDF core.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, I think I saw you make something similar to this, like similar style to this. Might not have been a shoe rack, but there was some fluted. The front was fluted.
Yeah, it was for a client in California.
Okay. Do you care to share the details of that one, and we can compare these two?
That was solid white oak.
Solid white oak.
Solid white oak. The interior was birch. Like the cabinet just store it, but everything else, the drawer fronts, the top side panels, they're all solid white oak.
Okay. And do you mind saying what you sold that for?
That was about $5,000.
Nice. So in the reason I want you to share that is, thank you, is like just the caliber of, not all your projects are that expensive, but when it comes to design, when it comes to building one of a kind pieces, you charge a premium. right? You're only going to make one of those ever. And you're making it specifically for a client that values that, right? And so I agree with this. Like, this isn't like production, like work. Like this piece right here. But the price that Eric is giving us represents production work.
Once again, I said this is a individual who's putting these together.
Eric's over here giving us IKEA prices. Yeah. So I'm gonna say over. I think you're gonna say over too.
Yeah, I definitely think this should be over. I mean, I'd be very surprised if it's 475. It's 475, I'll buy it.
All right, what is it, Eric?
Okay, retail price on this is.
Wow.
Are you shocked that it's not higher?
I'm very shocked. Even if it's MDF, right? MDF has like a little texture in front. I would still think if you were to make this, you could still get at least $1,000 out of it. It's a matter of finding the right client, right? Like I said, find the right person who's going to buy it and get it. Like sometimes you may not want to build one, you may want to build multiple. Especially if you see that's very fine. It keeps the cost down. But yeah, I think if you're making just one of that, you probably should charge more than 500 something.
Yeah, great lesson. So if that person is watching the show or ever watches this show, raise your prices.
Yeah,
and that's not a knock on anybody.
Right.
That's like legit advice. Like, you can raise your prices, and I want to see people make the most money possible.
Right. I want more people doing this full time.
Yes.
Like for some reason, out of all the trades, it seems like carpentry is like the very bottom, and people are paying themselves, pennies on the dollars to be a carpenter. And you have plumbers, you have electricians, you have mechanical guys who are, making six figures. But I don't see why furniture maker or a person who does carpentry can't, at least get up to that standard. And you just have to find the right clients that's willing to pay for it. Or you could take a CNC and batch out none of it if that's what you want to do. And the CNC is great for that.
Yeah, and I've taken that route a little bit.
Professional a lot.
Yep, cranking out a lot. That's kind of how I really, if I think it's a good way to pay to learn skills, right? That you don't already have. Like, it's a good, like, repetition is a good way to learn, right? And so, yeah.
It saves here. Like go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say two different paths.
Yeah.
There's multiple attack angles to making products and selling.
Yeah. And speaking of that path, like I honestly switched more towards using the CNC for everything. So doing the batching, even if it is for commission work, I will try my best to figure out how I can do it on CNC. Yes, there is some time that you have to invest in terms of doing the CAM side, but you're still going to make plans for your commission projects. You're still going to make drawings at least. It's just one little step next to that, so that you can actually get it onto a production or get onto a CNC, right? And then from there, you could sell the plans if you want to. You could sell the same products to more clients. But yeah, I don't know when's the last time that I actually hand cut or joinery using like a table saw. I mean, not hand cut, but like, you know what I mean? Like actually push wood. Yeah, push wood through the table saw, push wood through the jointer. It's been a very long time to say that.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, well, we've got more to talk about here. Let's introduce. We've got a giveaway right here. The thing's loud. And we call it the Spindle Spin. Creative. And I'm just going to introduce that because our viewers need time to enter. So I'm going to introduce that real quick, and then we'll head to our next segment. So to enter the Spindle Spin, you have to, in the chat, you have to type in hashtag Andy Berg Builds. Hashtag Andy Berg Builds will get you an entry. Remind me, you can type it as many times as you want, but it's still just one entry. So just don't feel like you need to spam the chat. If you feel like it, you're bored, go ahead and spam the chat, whatever. It's still going to count as one entry. So go ahead and enter in the chat. And how this is going to go is we're going to randomly select, Eric over here to the side, showrunner, is going to randomly select one of your names. You'll see it pop up on the screen, and that one person gets to spin the Spindle Spin. I'll actually spin it for you because you're not here, and it would take a long time for you to get here to spin it. So I'm going to spin it for you, and you'll win that prize. So we've got a couple prizes we're bringing back, but we got a couple new ones. We've got digital files, we've got sticker packs, we've got shout outs. Our grand prize today is a seat to the CNC Kickstart course, the new course that I just came out with in June. One seat to that. We've got a spin again. I added a spin again this time. We've got a 30-minute one-on-one meeting with me. You can ask me anything. And then I'm bringing back the Everyone Wins. And the Everyone Wins is you win a digital file, and we'll tell you how to do all that. So a lot of fun prizes. So go ahead and enter hashtag Andy Bird Builds in the chat to be entered to win a spin. All right. With that, you have until the end of this next segment that we're going to go to now to enter. Welcome to Tool of the Week. Should I say the joke? Okay, I won't say the joke.
What's the joke?
What the joke is, and no, I'm not talking about your neighbor. Something along those lines. But, so, Tool of the Week. We're going to share some tools that we're loving right now, and I will let, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I guess you can go first.
Did you say me?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay, I'll go first. So I went kind of big this week. Actually, I just got back from your neck of the woods, man. I was in Austin for the Texas Woodworking Festival. Kind of a cool show. I met a lot of great people there. Hung out with some people and met some new people, which was great. I probably saw some of you there, and that was great. So I share that because I had a conversation with I finally met in person. I met the Shapeoko people in person for the first time in 7 years. Like, I have talked to them email, I've talked to them on the phone. And if you've been around the channel at all, you know I'm a big Shapeoko guy, and I always have been. And the quick story of that is I started in 2017 looking for CNCs. And the market was completely different than it is now.
Yeah.
In 2017. And I picked Shapeoko. My first CNC was a Shapeoko 3 XXL.
Same here.
Yeah, I remember that, man. Yeah, we bonded over that.
I know.
And honestly, when I've been asked several times, will I ever promote another CNC, or will I have another CNC in the shop? I mean, I do. I have an Avid in my shop. I have a Jimitsu in my shop. But as far as when it comes to Shapeoko, the answer is no. And the reason is, it's not because there's not other great CNCs out there. It's because my tool of the week is the Shapeoko 5 Pro. I have the 2x2 in my shop. And the reason is I'm in the business of seeing people be successful with CNC. Like that is what my business has morphed into over the years. And I want to see as many people as possible be successful with CNC. And it's really easy to take for granted on this side, 7 years of experience. And I forget the struggle. It's easy for me to forget the struggle that it was, because I started with zero experience, like zero. I grew grass before this.
Not
And
that type of grass.
no, I was not a drug dealer. Um, but and so I learned all of this on my own. And honestly, I attribute some of my success to at least a shout out to Shapeoko today because of the machine that they built, but more importantly, the software, more importantly, the support, more importantly, the tools that someone needs to be successful. And I think that's the difference for me, my opinion, between Carbide 3D is the name of the company, but that is the difference between Shapeoko and a lot of the other high performance hobby machines, let's call them, out there. Is Shapeoko is not just a hardware company. They're not just selling hardware. They develop their own software internally. They support it extremely well. And so I believe with one decision of buying a Shapeoko, that is the greatest chance, the least amount of friction to get someone from zero experience like me to creating their first project, to get that, what I call is that first project feeling today. You can disagree with me, and that's fine. But that's my tool of the week. So, and it was spurred on because I was just in Texas, a couple hours from you, and I met those people for the first time after 7 years of using their products and talking to them. So, all right,
Yeah, it's been a big evolution from when I first started off with CNC, and I started off in college. I think we had a CAN master,
okay.
and it was no auto changing theme. We only used it for MDF, no hardware like that. But the first CNC that I purchased was a Shapeoko, same as yours. It was very easy to use, very friendly, user friendly for a beginner. I just didn't like that it was a kit, and it took a little while to put everything.
Oh yeah, those kits back then. I don't. If you're buying a CNC today, you're spoiled.
Yeah, you were
Like,
very
imagine getting every nut and every bolt in just boxes, and you have to put it together.
got put the straps on. You gotta make sure you clamp it tight. It was really a pain in the butt to get it. And if you didn't do it correctly, you were cutting ellipses instead of circles, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And that's, like you said, that's not true today. The evolution of all the machines in this space, like, they're a lot easier to bolt together.
Yeah.
and get right. Yeah.
so my tool of the day, and it's not because we're on a CNC show. It's just because I've been using my CNC pretty much exclusively. Like I mentioned before, I barely use my table saw anymore.
That's what
I,
man.
I barely use my jointer. I barely use my planer. Like literally everything I've been doing, it is centered around the CNC. My approach is because I have 3 kids and they demand my time, my attention, but at the same time, my clients need the project done as fast, right? So I'm going to spend the time to cut joinery. I'm not going to spend time to do things on the power tools anymore. If I need something cut, I'm just going to do it on CNC, especially program the entire project on CNC. My CNC that I'm currently running is the Shop Savior Pro 408. It has auto tool changers, which is really nice. Makes things super efficient in terms of just doing one program and just letting the machine run. Yeah, I honestly don't think I would be in business still if I didn't have the CNC.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
that's crazy to think, but I mean, I can totally see it.
Because I, I'm not getting much younger. Our body is definitely feeling it. Having to like push the boards through the table saw, and yeah, I've been very tired of that. So which is why I switched exclusively to just using CNC for even joinery. Like I do the joinery on CNC.
Love it. I love it. That's cool. That's cool. Um, Yeah, just a reminder, everybody, real quick, to get your questions in. We have a segment coming up where we do rapid fire questions, where we answer all the questions that have come in throughout the chat or throughout the show in the chat, and we're going to answer them here in a second. So if you got any questions for Bao or me, let us know, and our moderator Miranda will cue them up in the background and rapid fire them at us. We have no idea what's coming, man. But yeah, so remind everybody what CNC you're running.
The Shop Saver Pro 408.
Pro 4.
So it's a you could technically cut 60 inches, but it's sort of programmed for 48 by 96, 4 by 8.
So 4x8, so you can drop a whole sheet of plywood on it.
Yeah, yeah. And the hold down is nice. It's a vacuum bed, so yeah. I also use the All-Star gasket system, and that definitely helps with smaller parts. Especially the products that I sell at Etsy, like you definitely need a better hold down than the vacuum that I purchased. You could probably get away with a bigger vacuum, but the one that I purchased it's not that great.
Okay.
Works, but it's not that great.
Yeah. It's really cool to hear that your CNC, and honestly, it's kind of eye-opening, right? Your CNC is so dominant in your shop, as far as like it sounds like it's the tool that's used the most.
It comes to a point where I don't even want to use the other tools anymore.
And you have them all. You have a table saw, you have a joiner, you have.
I have everything. I have even the small tools like a drill press, making holes and things like that. Like I don't even want to touch them. You can call me lazy. I just feel like my body is not there like it used to be. I'm not that. Of course, I'm not that old. Okay, I get it. But when we have 3 kids climbing on you all day, at the end of the day, like want to have the energy for your kids, and I don't want to be exhausted at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I can't give my attention to my kids, and I can't give the energy to my wife, right? Like that for me has been the most important thing. And I sort of, it's a different perspective for me. Like with my business approach is centered around my family. Every decision that I make in the business is centered around them. And so one of that is being at home at the end of the day and not feel so tired because I'm, pushing 1,000 wheels through the jointer, right? It takes a toll on you. And I think my kids, my wife deserves my 100% at the end of the day too.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Well, CNCs. Get a CNC. Yeah.
Even if it's a hobby one, feel good,
Yeah, you don't need to run out and get the Shop Saver. You want to see the price tag on it. So that's not where you start, is my point. Like,
yeah.
Unless if you have the work lined up for it, I say go for it.
Yeah, if you're doing cabinets, you're doing more plywood, for sure. I think it'll open up a lot more opportunities for you if you get a full size. I would say buy the biggest one that you could fit in your garage or wherever you're working, right? Like the biggest one, because there's always that 1 or 2 projects where you wish there's just a little bit longer or for a little bit wider or whatnot. So get something that you can definitely use for the long term.
Cool.
Because I remember I've been from the Shapeoko, then to the Axiom. Remember then that all to the Shop Saver.
Yep. That's awesome. Little fun fact: I actually visited you. You know this, but to the people that don't know, I drove down to Houston. I went on like this maker road trip where I stopped at a bunch of makers' different houses, and I just showed up at your house one day. We had some coffee, saw your shop. We went to IHOP.
Yeah.
You still live in the same place?
No, I moved down the street.
Oh, okay.
So the time when you came, I was still operating in the garage.
In the garage, yeah. And I know you've built a shop since then.
I remember when you were there, like you could barely move in the garage.
Oh yeah, there was you could tell you were a busy man.
I think not just that, it's just like the tools are big, right? Like
Yeah.
a 12-inch joint and a 15-inch planer and a cabinet table saw and the Axiom, which was like a 2x4
Yep.
and a big old dust collector. So it was no space to move at all. I remember we were just kind of standing out in the garage at the garage door for most of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun times working in the garage.
Hey, growing pains, right? Love it. All right, so we are going to head to the next thing here, which is our giveaway. So, Eric, we're ready to go. Eric says we're giving me a thumbs up. We're ready to go, and we're going to play the next segment now. I always forget about that bumper. But anyways, welcome to the Spindle Spin. We're going to pick one winner who gets a spin on the Spindle Spin. All right, Eric. Take the show away. Here we go. Here is our random name generator. Looks like we have 46 entries today. Who's the lucky... Oh,
Are you ready?
I did not say this, but you do have to be present to win. So, forgive me for not saying that earlier, but yeah, you do have to be present to win. So yeah, let's go for it. Here we go. Drum roll, please. No, I shouldn't do that. Who we got? Jim Burkhart. Are you in the house? Congratulations, Jim.
Yes, Jim.
Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat. Are you here, Jim? We are counting down a minute to tell us you're here. We might give you a little bit more time because I didn't tell you. If you're not here, we're going to have to redraw. While we're waiting for Jim, what project's on your bench right now, man? Or on your CNC, I should say.
So I have a R&D project that I'm working on, and I can't really say anything else other than that. It's for a different company, and that's part of the business as well, like doing the CNC work for other companies.
I like that.
That's a service that I provide. But project-wise, I have a built-in that we're doing, and also 2 built-ins, and I'm doing a restaurant right now, like a full build-out restaurant.
Jeez. Good.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned to you, but my background was architecture and construction.
I think so. I know the architecture part.
Yeah. So before I went to full-time woodworking, I had my own construction company. And so a client that I did some work for before, he reached out like, hey, can you build my restaurant? And so with that project, I did all the woodworking in-house, and then I just act as a general contractor to do the other scope of work. So that was a good portion of woodworking in that project. I'm excited to share that. It's been a year process doing that project. Yeah, it's not a very big project. It's like 900 square feet.
Still, man, that's...
Yeah, it's a 6-seater restaurant.
Okay.
Japanese restaurant. And pretty much everything besides like cladded in wood. I'm very excited to share that, what's he done, hopefully within the next couple of weeks.
Okay, cool. We heard from Jim. Jim is in the house. All right, Jim. Let's make some room here for you. Picture, this is your hand. And let's see what you're going to win on the Spindle Spin. All right, like I said, I already went over the prizes here. Let's see what happens. No way. No way. The grand prize, the first time. Congrats on a seat to the CNC Kickstart course. That is amazing. Like, show number 1, and we're giving away the CNC Kickstart, which is my brand new course that just came out in June? Yeah. And We had over 400 students go through it in the first wave. If you go to the link, you may get directed to a wait list. I'm just kind of prefacing this, just in case you do. And it will be reopened in October, here in about a month. We're just waiting for those 400 students to get through, making some tweaks, and then we're going to reopen it for good. But make sure you join the wait list. It will be relaunched. But congrats to Jim, right? Jim, yep. Jim.
Congrats, Jim.
That's amazing. Amazing. We're giving away the grand prize right away. I love it. All right.
How are you going to beat it next time?
I don't know. I'm going to have to up it somehow. Like, last season we gave away the CNC side hustle course.
Oh, okay.
And we gave it away once in 11 shows. So yeah, we're starting off hot this year. So Jim, reach out to support@andybirdbuilds.com and we will get you all hooked up to that. Congrats. All right, so now we're going to head off to our last segment here. And I think the audience has some questions for you and for me. So let's head off to rapid fire questions. All right, welcome in. How many questions do we got today? We've got 8 questions. All right, so let's get through these questions, rapid fire style. And so I'll go ahead and read them. Eric will put them up on screen. All right. Kathleen says, I know you're a fan of Shapeoko. I got a shark. I got a deal on it, and it's made a few hours away from me in Ohio. What are your thoughts on the shark? Do you have any experience with the shark?
I did research into the shark when I was looking into the Shapeoko. The only thing that kind of kept me away was the price point. It did seem like it was better built at that time. But I haven't kept up with the recent iterations of Shapeoko and Shark CNCs. If you're the type that does not like to build things yourself, especially like these machines, I would try to get something that is already pre-built. That's just my opinion, because the quality of the cut, it's going to be based off of how well you put the machine together, right? I don't know how tolerances are, but I know from putting the Shapeoko back then together, it did take a little while to get things squared off. Again, I don't know what the current situation is like. Probably
They've come a long ways, and kind of, I built the Shapeoko 5 Pro, and it's super, like, literally, I think it comes in 5 parts that you bolt together, which is a massive difference. The 5,000 parts before. But as far as shark goes, I don't know. I know some people that use it. I would check out. I've learned my lesson not to speak on the things I don't have first-hand knowledge of. Even if I'm asked my opinion, I shy away from it because it's bit me in the butt several times. But I would check out Duffy Woodcraft if you haven't. That's the shark user. YouTube. He has a YouTube channel that comes to mind. All right, let's head to the next one. Not Bored Woodworking. Love the name. What spindle works best on the Shapeoko 5 Pro? The spindle, they come with, there's 2 different options, but I use the smaller spindle, which I think is the 1.5 kilowatt spindle, Shapeoko, or the Carbide 3D Shapeoko spindle that they make. So it's all integrated together. It's not an aftermarket or third-party spindle. They produce it, they support it.
Man, it's so amazing that they offer spindles at that scale now.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! Back then, running the router,
Oh, it was horrible.
I could hear it out in the street and getting complaints from the neighbors. Oh man, yeah. I'm so happy that you guys are having spindles on that type of machine.
It's wild, man. I'm telling you, like the hobby CNC market like it's really interesting to see how like the quality and capability is coming up like into what was considered like a prosumer just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then you see too like it's upping everybody's game. Like everybody has to get better, and the big benefactor or yeah, the big benefactor, is that a word?
Yeah, that probably benefits.
The person that benefits. I'm from Kentucky. I don't have a big vocabulary. Come on now. Um, and are us, the consumers, the users. You know, they keep pushing those
Yeah.
boundaries. So, all right, let's head to the next one. Miles Waldron asks, what has been your most personally rewarding CNC project? Go ahead and take that one.
Hmm. I think it was just making toys. For it wasn't volunteer or anything, but people wanted toys, and I felt like it was a fun project. It wasn't a project that I had to think too much in terms of the design. It was just something fun for somebody's kid, and being able to see that they were happy with it, like that was pretty rewarding.
Yeah, that's awesome. For me, I think what kind of falls for me in here is two different questions. Anything that I make for my family is my most personally rewarding. Like, honestly, I don't like making for just for the sake of making. I know it sounds bad, but when I have a reason, especially like my family, like that is exciting, you know, and it's super rewarding. Don't get me wrong, I like making projects and selling them, but I got to have a purpose it, behind it, you know.
And seeing your family use it on a day-to-day basis, that's always your
All right. What do we got next here? All right, Ken's 81. What do you think one should do a software upgrade if they just got using Carbide Create and very limited on things they can do? When do you think one should upgrade their software if they're just using Carbide Create?
So I don't know what Carbide Create is offering at this moment. Back then it was just literally contours, no 3D work at all.
Yeah.
So I had to upgrade to Fusion 360, and that's been my thing the entire time. I still currently use it. So if you want to upgrade software, I think it's based on whether you feel like that software is too limiting for you. If you're trying to come up with a design, you're trying to do something that software is limiting you, then I think that's time to upgrade.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think so. I used Carbide Create for the first 3 years of having a CNC, and then when I got the Avid in my shop, I upgraded to um, Vectric, and so now I pretty much do everything in Vectric. Um, and so, but I would say honestly, looking back, I think they're on version 8 now of Carbide Create, and you can do quite a bit with the free version. So I think you're probably, just from the limited information I have, I think you're probably good in Carbide Create. You're not missing out much, but when you find yourself you are, then it is like when you're trying to do something and you can't because the feature's not there, not because you can't do it, but because the feature's not there, then it's time to upgrade.
I think most of the time, like comparing Fusion 360 to Vectric, like Fusion 360 is like there's tons of options, and I think it might be too overwhelming for starting out. Uh, because even some of those options I still don't use. Like
Yeah.
when I'm cutting wood, I'm honestly not looking for precision. Like we still got to sand it, right? Like you still have to do a little bit of post production. Um, so all those small little details in terms of adjusting tolerance and things like that, like I don't really use that. So I think sometimes it might be a little bit too overwhelming if you're going into a software that gives you too much.
Yeah. Yeah, Fusion 360 is a straight up climb when it comes to a learning curve. If you don't have any experience, like you can learn it. Don't get me wrong, anybody can learn it. But there's so many options in there that's super steep. I think I've created successfully 2 projects in Fusion and like for the CNC. And it was just, for me, it was overwhelming back then. It was probably about 5 years ago. And I'm just like, oh, this is,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the modeling on it is great. If you're trying to model something, I think it's worth the effort to learn how to model Fusion because of the parametric capabilities.
Yes.
And especially when you're doing cabinets or good projects, I think it's worth it to invest a little time to learn it.
Cool. All right, let's head to the next one. Chris asked, Bao, do you consider the CNC more as a tool or a paintbrush?
I think it's maybe a little bit of both, but I would say it is the way that I use it is a paintbrush. Because again, like, could there be more specific tools that I can use to make holes and things like that? That's just straightforward, sure. But I think it's more of a paintbrush where I could do almost everything.
Nice.
If that's what the question's
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah.
I'm taking it correctly.
Yeah, I think it was good. Rebuild repurpose asks, what was the first couple projects you started making in the CNC that actually sold and made you decide to keep doing this business?
So I made a few projects, cutting board and engraving type of projects. Those were just for family. The first project that I actually sold was the Orgo tray. I still sell, and it's still a great product that I'm still still making. Um, People are still buying. So really, it's a product that has withstood the test of time. People still like it, and it's still a project that people buy. And that was a project that started sort of my springboard, and it all started from a friend who needed a tray, and he wanted it to look nice. And I looked at all the trays that were being sold on Etsy, sold online. It was all rectilinear, straight wall. I make the project like that too, but I wanted something very special, something for him. Um, yeah, so that's why I decided to design that project.
That's great. Love it. All right, let's head to the next one. Joe asks, does Bao have any special electrical supply for the larger machine and for the vacuum table pump?
Yes. So those are going to require a lot more amperage. My house has a total of 200 amps, and 100 of the amps is dedicated to the shop. And then of that 100, it's 50 amps for the CNC. And then there's different requirements depending on the CNC that you buy. But because this is like pretty much a commercial size CNC, you got 50 amps as a CNC, and then you have like 30 amps for the vacuum. So you're not using full 80, right? But yeah, it's just the requirements.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine's very similar. I think you and I have very similar setups. I've got 200 amps coming into the house. My shop is behind the house. I've got 100 amps to the shop. But I think the the Spindle is a 30 amp circuit or 30 amp draw, I believe. And then maybe it's more than that. I can't, don't quote me on it, but very similar. Yep. All right. What size are your workshops? What size is your workshop?
900 square feet. It is 25 by 40.
25 by 40. Mine is 24 by 40. Yep.
About the same size.
About the same size. Yep. I started in the basement. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Yep. Started literally unfinished basement below my house. And I did that until we had our first child. And I'm like, I can, like, you would smell finish, like, fumes upstairs. You would sawdust going through the house. And I was like, I got to do something different. So then I moved to the garage. And then and we just got into this building a year ago. So I worked in the walkout basement and garage for 5 years. And then I've just been in this one now for a year. So
Yeah. I started out in a garage as well. And my wife just hated having projects in the kitchen. I remember I took on a project that the client wanted me to build their entire staircase. The treads, right? So the treads were solid white oak and they're like 4 feet long and 12 inches deep. Their landing was 14 feet long
wow.
and 5 feet deep. And so I had this big old landing in my garage. It literally took up the entire garage space, right? I couldn't work at all. And then there are times where I built big tables and I had to bring it into the kitchen to actually do the same thing in finishing. And so at the old house, you could see like things on the wall and all this stuff. It's interesting. I'm glad that we have the space now. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I feel the same. Very, very similar, man. It's been good. So we got to do a couple things. We're not done here yet. No one go anywhere. We've got, that's all the questions that we have. But I want to thank our channel members real quick. So to become a channel member, underneath the chat, you can click and learn more. We love your support this way. We put a lot into the show for it to be great. So we have Johnny Gardner, Fernando, Technotan, David, Aaron, Earl, Monte, Ray, Roland, Cody. What's up, Cody? From Cadence CNC makes the Jenny bits. Appreciate your support, man. Net News Ledger, Randall Jenkins, Pineapples Barbecue, and Bradley Custom Designs, and Frank Bean. This list is growing, and it's so cool that I have to, like, not to bore all you, but to just say first names, not because I don't care, but because I don't want to waste everyone's time. But you can see right there forever on this live stream. So if you want to get your name on the wall, become a channel member today. Thank you for that support. It truly means a lot. Speaking of support, man, I greatly appreciate you coming on. Like, seriously, I know we have a long history together, but I think the things that you shared today are really going to inspire people to make cool projects, to push the limits of design, to think differently, and most importantly, not just make what everybody else makes, just because they don't know any different. Like, I think we, by you sharing your journey, you exposed to people to, like, wow, okay, I like just that thought of thinking differently about a project, right? Because it's really easy to go on Etsy. It's really easy to go online and like, what's selling? Oh, I'm going to make that. But I think you and I would both tell that person, look, you may sell a couple, but that's not going to be long-term sustainable. If you're trying to sell what everybody else is selling, that's not the recipe for success.
I mean, unless you really enjoy doing that. There are people
That's a good point.
who make it their business model to just copy and to market it better than the other person. But for us, it's more about being satisfied with the product that you're given, right? And that's a big part of being the artist inside of you, right? So don't be afraid to do something that's different. The market will let you know if that design works or not. And then you just go from there. No product is perfect the first round.
Yeah, that's great, man. give you the opportunity here. Where can people find you online?
Um, yeah, I haven't been on social media, but you can find me on Instagram, or the website designcraftworkshop.com. Instagram is Bao Loi _designcraft.
Sweet. Sweet. Yeah, check him out. Follow his stuff. Check out his website. If you've got a cool project or a restaurant you need built out, this is your guy. He does fantastic work. So
Yeah, feel
thanks.
free to DM me. I'm still pretty active in DMing and stories, connecting with people. So no, don't be afraid to DM me.
Cool. Cool. Design something, send it to him and say, hey, what do you think about this? He won't make you feel too bad about it. But cool, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, the viewer, for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show. And we will see you in the next show. Go make something cool.